Attention passionate Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news now, guys. We're diving into something that could be a real turning point for the Seahawks in this season. A potential blockbuster move that might just reshape the landscape of the NFC West, and who knows, maybe even the NFC overall. It's about the Seahawks targeting a major upgrade on their offensive line, specifically at guard, and the name that's been whispered around the league is Joel Bitonio from Cleveland. This isn't just idle talk. Insiders suggest that the Seahawks are eyeing a trade that could bring Bitonio to Seattle as soon as 2026. This is huge, especially considering how critical the offensive line is for a team with aspirations of going deep into the playoffs and ultimately competing for a Super Bowl. Let's back up for a second and talk about why this move makes sense, not just for the Seahawks, but also for the Browns who currently find themselves in a tricky spot. Cleveland, sitting at 2-4, is facing a season where they might need to sell assets to free up cap space, especially with their cap situation being tight, only about $11 million available. They're also dealing with some injury issues and a team that's trying to rebuild its depth and cap flexibility. Joel Bitonio, a veteran drafted in 2014 from Nevada, is not just any guard. He's a multi-time Pro Bowler and one of the most consistent interior linemen in the NFL. His stats speak volumes. In 2025, he's projected to be among the top 20 PFF-graded interior linemen, and the numbers back that up. Last season, he allowed only 4 pressures, which puts him in the top 8 among guards. He allowed just 1 sack and has a run-block win rate of 78%, ranking in the top 5 across the league. His EPA per block, which measures the efficiency he brings, is elite at plus 0.18. PFF gave him a score of 88. 3, ranking him as one of the best at his position, and he's accumulated 12 pancakes, showing he's a force in the run game. And it's not just about these numbers. It's about what Bitonio brings to the table in terms of consistency and leadership. He's a guy who can anchor the offensive line, providing stability and versatility. In Week 3 against the Giants, he dominated, allowing 0 sacks and contributing to a 150-yard rushing performance. His career started with over 130 starts, and despite some injury setbacks, like a knee issue that cost him a game, he's been a reliable presence in Cleveland. His ability to double-team and win blocks at a high rate makes him a perfect fit for a team looking to bolster its run game and pass protection. Now, why would the Browns consider trading him? Well, Cleveland's current focus is on building for the future, especially with the quarterback position in flux after Watson's struggles and injuries. They're also looking to free up cap space to extend their defensive stars like Garrett, which is a priority for them. But the risk is significant. Trading away a player of Bitonio's caliber could hurt their interior line, which has already seen some struggles this season. Their offensive line has allowed 32 sacks so far, ranking 30th in the NFL, which is a clear sign they need help. The Browns are essentially in a rebuilding phase, and trading Bitonio might be part of a bigger plan to acquire assets or free up cap space for future moves, even if it leaves their offensive line a bit vulnerable in 2024. Switching gears to the Seahawks now, this potential acquisition could be a game-changer. Seattle's offensive line has been a topic of discussion all season, especially after some injuries and inconsistencies. Christian Haynes, for example, has been out due to injury, and Witherspoon is limited by a knee issue. Woolen is sidelined with a concussion, and Love is doubtful for Week 7. These issues have hampered the team's pass protection and run blocking, which is why adding a veteran like Bitonio could make all the difference. His presence alone could boost the Seahawks' rushing efficiency by around 20%, potentially increasing their yards per game from an already modest 100 yards to over 140. That's a huge boost for a team that relies heavily on its ground game, especially with Kenneth Walker early in the season rushing for 450 yards and creating explosive plays that energize the offense. And speaking of the passing game, with Geno Smith at the helm, having a top-tier guard like Bitonio protecting him could elevate the offense to new heights. Smith has thrown over 400 yards in 2025, with 9 touchdowns and just 3 interceptions. His protection is key, and improving the interior line could translate into more consistent pocket presence and fewer sacks. The Seahawks have been improving their offensive line stats, with an overall grade of 76. 3 from PFF, and adding a proven veteran could push that even higher, possibly into the top 10 range. This is critical because reducing sacks and pressures directly correlates with better offensive efficiency and more scoring opportunities. Now, let's talk about the broader implications of this potential move. The odds for the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl have already shifted, from plus 4,000 earlier in the season to plus 1,800 now. That's a significant jump, and it shows how much the betting markets believe that this kind of upgrade could push Seattle into serious contention. The NFC is wide open, but with teams like the 49ers and Eagles performing strongly, the Seahawks need to be at their best. A player like Bitonio could be the X factor that gives them a slight edge, especially in the red zone where efficiency matters most. His ability to stabilize the interior and win against tough fronts, like the 49ers' formidable defensive line, could be the difference maker in tight playoff games. Furthermore, the Seahawks' offensive line improvements could help them control the clock better, keep Geno Smith upright, and open running lanes for Walker, which in turn could boost their overall offensive stats. If they can reduce their sacks by about 15%, that's a huge step towards more sustained drives and scoring. It's all about incremental improvements that add up over the course of a season, and adding a veteran like Bitonio could be the catalyst for that. In terms of the division, this move could shake things up significantly. The 49ers, who are currently favorites, have a stout defense and a powerful offense, but if the Seahawks shore up their line and add that extra punch, they could challenge for the top spot. The Rams are also in the mix, but Seattle's focus on improving their offensive line with a proven veteran might give them the edge in close games. And of course, the betting odds reflect this shift. The Seahawks' chances of making a deep playoff run and even reaching the Super Bowl have increased considerably, making them a team to watch as the trade deadline approaches. Now, wrapping things up, it's clear that the potential acquisition of Joel Bitonio by the Seahawks isn't just about filling a spot. It's about making a bold statement. It signals that Seattle is all in on competing at the highest level this season. The move also indicates that they're willing to make strategic trades, even if it means parting with assets or risking some short-term instability, because they see the bigger picture. A shot at glory, a shot at adding another Super Bowl trophy to their history. For the Browns, it's a different story. They're looking ahead, trying to rebuild and reposition themselves for future success, even if that means letting go of a cornerstone like Bitonio. This whole situation is fascinating because it's a classic example of how NFL teams are constantly balancing short-term success with long-term planning. The Seahawks, with their young core and a quarterback like Geno Smith, want to maximize their window now. And adding a veteran like Bitonio could be just what they need to push them over the top. Meanwhile, the Browns are playing a different game, focusing on their cap and roster flexibility to set up future seasons. Whatever happens, one thing is certain. This potential trade saga adds an exciting layer to the NFL storylines this season, and Seahawks fans should be thrilled at the possibility of seeing their team upgrade even further. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe Joel Bitonio is the missing piece to bring that Super Bowl trophy home? Or do you think the Seahawks should focus on other areas? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Seahawks. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seattle Seahawks news. We're in this together and the best is yet to come. Thanks for sticking with me, and as always, go Seahawks.